Hello.
Sir, you can start now, sir.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much for. So, good evening, my dear students. The wonderful session of the biological classes. Okay. Today we are going to discuss about the remaining part. Before that, we must know the question paper. Okay, we are going to discuss the question paper. See the all of you listening?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Juice spore. The first question. See the first question. Juice spores are already it may be whether it be a motile gamete, a female motile gamete, and sessile gamete, and female sessile. Which one is the correct one? Already we discussed. Jew denoted as motile gametes only. Which one is motile? Maximum the male gamete only motile, isn't it? Any other female gametes, motile gametes is present in it? No. So you have to find out the answer. That is very, very important. Female, it's not easily motile in nature, so it is not comes for the answers. And sessile gametes. Sessile means it's not fertilized. With the what is that? Sessile gamete is also another type. And female sessile gametes. These are all are not comes under the heading. That's why juice spore they can move from the one place to another place. That's why the answer will be the A answer. Are you got it?
Yes, sir.
Any doubt in this area?
No, sir.
Okay, go to the next one. Common mode of reproduction is penicillium. Okay, the Penicillium notatum is one of the fungi, isn't it? You have the doubt. Okay, Penicillium is there, but the buds also present are no, because buds mostly present in where the yeast. Yeast cells are one of a fungi. Next one is Gonidia. Already told you Gonidia is nothing but a Gonidia 4. Okay, so mostly the Penicillium related to which one Gonidia only, because well about gemmules also comes under getting which one Markangia. Juice spore is also one of the fungi. It has given us a simple things only, but they are asking the question common mode of reproduction in Penicillium is called as Gonidia because it's produced Gonidia 4. So this one is the correct one. And then asexual reproduction. See here, the underline the word asexual reproduction. Asexual means absence of sexual reproduction. Is commonly called as what is that? Vegetative reproductions. Vegetatively, because the body part is converted into the entire plant because there is no any fusion of gametes. Here come to the point. Juice spore. It is one of the asexual spore, but it produces spores. Okay, it is not like that. And syngame, fusion of male and female gametophyte. So it will not come this category. And parthenocarpy. What is the meaning of parthenocarpy fruits? Parthenocarpy means, yeah.
So,
fertilization is possible or not possible?
Sir, in parthenocarpy, sir, the zygote, sir, the fruit is developed without any fertilization, sir.
Okay, so it is not also comes under the condition in the asexual reproduction, isn't it? So that's why the vegetative reproduction is the correct one for the asexual reproduction. Already talk about these things. Vegetative reproduction, otherwise called as asexual reproduction, isn't it? Okay. Go to the next. This is the direct questions. Just you see the answer 4-1. You can easily understand which one is called as a terror of Bengal. Which part is generally called as terror of Bengal? Okay, it's already about water hyacinth, isn't it? Okay. What are the fifth questions? Sponge. Sponge means about which one it comes. Yeast also is the potato, water cyanide. Already given here. Water cyanide is also one of which one offset. See that water cyanide is also one of a offset. Potato already it is nothing but the tubers. Yeast always undergo the asexual reproduction is called as budding. And sponges remaining, which one is the exception? Gemmules. So the sponges, gemmules. Yeast already about budding. Potato, which one tubers. The ice pot is called as axillary bud. Okay. And water hyacinth already about nothing but offset. These are the correct one. Okay. See here. Which of the following statement is correct? Just why I underline here, no? Sometimes they may ask the question which is incorrect, they may ask. Okay, you have to clear. Okay, so all individual of the species have exactly the same lifespan. Is it correct? All are having a same lifespan?
No, sir.
Because, yeah, good. Because some of the animals having the less lifespan, even single day is also present in it. Single day and 1 week. Okay, take an example, dragonfly, it may be 1 week, or butterfly is also 1 week. Take an examples of termites, sometimes they may be called, okay, they may be 1 day, okay, during the rainy seasons comes out, isn't it? Okay, so it is not possible. And go to the next one. Smaller organism always have a shorter lifespan and vice versa. A large one is also what happened, it has a long life, it's not like that. Okay, so this is also a false statement. Go to the last one. No organism may have a lifespan of 100 years. No organism may have a lifespan of 100 years. Take an examples of turtle, elegant turtle, they are all having 156 years old. So it is also a wrong one. Which one is correct one? Lifespan of an organism is the time period from the birth to its natural death. This is the correct statement of the, which one, question, exact, the question answer. Okay, ginger, already a little bit one of the underground stem modification, but at the same time, when you are going to propagate, which one is the correct one? Ginger is multiplied vegetative by means of buds? No, but it produces buds, which where? From the rhizome. Tubers? No. Corms? No. And the last one is rhizome, because it's also one of the underground stem modifications. Okay, so rhizome is the correct one, but ginger, rhizome, not only turmeric is also one of the rhizome modification. Okay, so this one is the correct one. Which one of the following is not an artificial method of vegetative reproduction? Okay, this is already cutting, grafting, laying. These are all are comes under the getting known as artificial, man-made. Okay, so bulbils is not a artificial. We can take an examples of which one? Onion is also bulbils, isn't it? We cannot able to produce artificial methodly. Okay, we can take a bulbs of the onions and then place into seed bulb. Okay, you have to place it anywhere, you will get it a new plant. There is no possibilities of cutting, grafting, layering in this category. Okay, so go to the next one. Okay, then next, lifespan of an organism usually included means what is the meaning of life? That's all. Okay, is nothing but the, what is the juvenile phase, birth to death. In between there is a space, the space phased, these are the three things. What is that? Juvenile, that is nothing but the physical growth. Then go to the maturity. Maturity means reproduction stage as well as their continuous stages. And senescence, that is nothing but the old stage, finally to death. So they have given us a entire life in a single question with an absence. Okay, so you have to find out the answer. This is a critical type of questions. Juvenility, maturity, senescence and death, and all of these above. You have to read all the options, then only come to the conclusion. Okay, without reading just the lifespan of an organism, it may be senescence and death, like that you cannot able to consider. Okay, just to go through and just read the 4 options, then only come to the conclusion. And addition, omission method, you have to follow it. It is also one of the, omission means juvenility. Juvenility is one of the life. Maturity, it's also one of the life. Senescence and death is a final. So all of this is the correct one. Okay, go to the next one. Budding occurs. Already I told you. Already I told you. The vegetative propagation of through the budding occurs. Rose, but it's nothing but the stem. There is no buds. Okay, because rose also produce buds, but it's not a vegetative propagation. Think about that things. Agave is also one of the very, very important. Gemule is comes under this heading. Yeast, budding. Ginger's underground stem. So which one is the correct one? You have to choose it. Yeast is a correct one. Already. Then go to the next one. Terror of Bengal. Okay, already water hyacinth is a terror of Bengal is not associated with this character. Think about the characters. Okay. Free floating hydrophytes. Yes, it is a free floating hydrophytes. Most invasive weeds of standing weeds. Okay. You know, it is already told you it is a invaded weeds. I already told you, just go through the lesson or the portion. You will get it the answers. It is an introduced plant. Yes, it is introduced from the other countries. It releases the toxin to kill the fishes? No, it will not release any toxicity to the kill the fishes. It completely, what happened? It is completely cover the bed, water bed. Okay, so as a result, the water molecules, the oxygen is not enter inside the aquatic plant. That's why lack of oxygen lead to death. As a result, it omit the unpleasant odor. That's why it is the name. Okay. Another one is, which of the following animals is having a longitudinal binary fission? Just think about this, the longitudinal binary fissions. Which one is correct? Which one is? Which one is correct, Pa? In the 12th questions?
Sir, Euglena.
Euglena. Are you sure?
Yes, sir.
What about paramecium?
Sir, it is transverse binary fission.
Which one? Paramecium is also longitudinal one, isn't it, or not? What? Just 1 second, check it. Suppose if it is a doubtful question, so the param is the correct one. Okay, Euglena, it can, what is that? Euglena is also another absence. I will check it and then give you next day. Okay, no need to worry. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Identify the correct statement. This one is already asked, isn't it? Okay. Anyhow, go to the next one. Identify the incorrect statement. Incorrect. In sexual reproduction, the offspring produce or morphologically and genetically identical to the parent. Is it correct? Is it correct, Pa?
Sir, no, sir. It's incorrect.
Why?
Sir, in sexual reproduction, the offspring are not morphologically and genetically identical. So there'll be some variation.
Why I am asked? Why? How?
Sir, because
the male and female gametes.
Two different gametes are and the gametes carry different genes, sir.
Yes, correct. That's why, because it's a, what is that? Different genetical composition present in it, because male as well as female get united together as a result of formation now. What is that? Zygote. Okay, see that. So zoospore is sexually reproduced structure. Zoospore, it's a asexually reproduced structure. Okay, or sexually reproduced structures. It is a sexually reproduced structures. In asexual reproduction, a single parent produces offspring. Is it correct or not? It is a correct. With or without key formation of gametes. This is also a correct one. They are microscopic. Only you can see under the microscope only. That's why it comes under the headings known as a microspore. Okay, these are all what is that? Correct statement. This one is the incorrect statement. Okay. In grafting, cyan blankstone. Just take an example. Cyans. Okay. First one, plant having superior or desirable character. This one we are going to, what is that? This is the main reason for the grafting method, isn't it? Okay. So this is the correct one. See the next one. Plant having well-developed root system. No, because stock only it has the root system. Cyan is not having the root system. Plant resistant to diseases. Which one? To diseases, isn't it? Or not? No. Both 2 and 3. So these are all comes under the headings known as, what is that? These are all comes under which one, you know? Cyan is not like that. Craft is the stock is the correct one. So plant having superior and desirable character only we are going to select. This is the very one. That's why I have chosen this one. Go to the next one, last one. I think. Okay. Clone or prepared from. Clone or prepared from two different parent. If you want to clone any one of the animals, how many animals we need? Only
So only one parent.
Single plant or single animals only. Only one is enough. Enough. Okay. I am asking the question. Which is clone? Which is ramete? From this type. Many different species, not them. Many gametes not only to produce. So these are the single plant only is enough, or single animal cells. Particularly, it may be from the male or female. It's enough. Okay. So these are the answer we have to discuss today. Okay. Any doubt in this area?
No,
Any
sir.
doubt? Okay. I asked one question. Oh yeah. What is by clone? Already you know, but what is by ramete? What is by ramete? After, any ideas? No, what?
No, sir.
Okay, one thing you should remember, clone is nothing but the parent, isn't it? Clone is nothing but a single plant or single parent. You can calculate like that. You can imagine like that, isn't it? Okay. What about the product? The product is called as ramete. Okay. The offspring is there, no? After the cloning, you will get any other plant or animal similar to that of the, which one you know? Parent, isn't it? Such offspring are called as ramete. Don't forget, this one is also so many times they were asked. Okay. So we will go to the next one, our lesson. Last class, what we have discussed, any ideas? What already discussed, ba?
Sir, sir,
Please summarize the lesson. Yeah. Already we saw it.
Yes, sir. Sir, we were doing this pollination, sir.
Yeah, started from the pollination. Today also we are going to see that portion onwards. Before that, what we discussed already, you know about what is by megasporogenesis, isn't it? Otherwise, what is by ovule or ovary? And what is mean by ovules? What is by megasporogenesis? What are the internal structure of megasporogenesis? And what are the types of ovules? Okay, what is by double fertilizations? What is by egg cells? Okay, what is by synergetic cells and polar and antipodal? Okay, these are the cells already we discussed. Okay, isn't it? Today, what we are going to discuss about, see what is maybe pollination? What are the types of pollination is that? That things we are going to discuss one by one. Types of oval, already we discussed that things is also. See, special type of ovals, structures, and the embryo sac. How many cells is there? How many nucleus is also present in it? All those things we already discussed. And what is meant by polygonum, Phyllium apparatus? That things also already we discussed, isn't it? See, today what we are going to discuss, what is by pollination. Here you must note it down. So many times they were asked the question, what is by cleistogamy? Okay, like that they are asking so many questions. See, the pollination, transfer of pollen grains, that is called as male gamete from the anther to the stigma. It is a female of the pistil, is termed as a pollination. Both male and female gametes are non-motile. Suppose if it is a non-motile, because the plant, it has a pollen grains as well as what one, and female gametes also there, but they will not move towards the each one, each others, isn't it? Because it can move from the place to another place with the help of which one? There is a vector or mediator, whether it may be wind or air or water. Okay, and also the insects or some other things is there also there. Without that, what is the mediator? The pollination is not possible. Okay, that is very, very important. That's why they have given us a non-motile. Okay, go to the next one. This is the definition of pollination. That means transfer of pollen grains from the anther to the stigma of the pistil is termed as a pollination. Both are non-motile nature. Okay, see that. Kinds of pollination. What are the types of pollination have been reported by the scientists or analytical aspects? Okay, the pollinations. One is self-pollination, cross-pollination. Self, otherwise called as what is that? Self-pollination or autogamy, like that, isn't it? Autogamy and gaetonogamy divided to two: autogamy and gaetonogamy. What is by autogamy? It is also divided to, already we discussed, I think, this sort: direct autogamy and indirect autogamy. These are the two things. Cross-pollination based on the plants, allogamy or genogamy is possible. Hybridism. These two things comes under the heading based on plants. Based on the factors already know about. There are two type of factors already we discussed. One is called as abiotic factor, another one is called as biotic factors. This is anemophily and hydrophily and zoophily. I will tell you what is meant by one by one. Okay, these things are clear. These things, students. Self and cross, autogamy, gaetonomic, and also direct autogamy and indirect autogamy. Cross-pollination based on plants, allogamy, genogamy, and hybridisms, and based on the factors anemophilic, hydrophilic, and zoophilic. See that one? So autogamy, pollination within the same flower in open or exposed on the stigma. Autogamy is rare. Violet, common pansy, oxalis and camellia produce the two types of flowers. Okay, two types of flowers. See that? Cosmogamous. This is a very, very important. Cosmogamous. Expose anther and stigma. It may be open in nature. Okay, what is the meaning of opening? Suppose it can be easily possible to cross pollination. Okay, and then clistogamous, closed anther stigma. It is nothing but the bud condition. We may call as a, I think it may be a bud condition, like that. Closed stigma. It may be closed. Okay. So a clistogamous flower is invariable autogamous and assured seed set even in the absence of pollinator. Suppose the pollinator no need to, what is the formation now? The process, the pollination process. But at the same time, the seed is also present inside in it. Absence of pollinator, they can produce their seed. That type of flower is called as clistogamous because it is a closed one. Though anther and stigma, inside what happened, we don't know because it may be pollinated inside. That's why there is no need of pollinators. This is very, very important. So this is a self-pollination, otherwise called as auto-pollinations. This is considered a stigma. It is nothing but the flowers already know about. Here the, which part is the female reproductive part is the, see that here the anther undergoes the dehiscence process longitudinally or transferally, whatever it may be. The transfer of pollen grain from the anther to the same flower of the stigma. That's why same flower. Okay, suppose if it is a different flower, that is called as allogamy. See, so this is very, very important. This is called as what is that? Autogamy. See, pollen grains also again enter into the same stigma. Okay, same flower of the stigma. That's why it is called as autogamy. See that. And gaetonogamy, the pollination by between the two flowers of the same flower. Suppose it may be present in the single branch. Okay, one flower is here and another flower is also near to the previous one, but it can interchange the, what is the anther, or otherwise called as pollen grains. Such type of pollination is called as gaetonogamy. Pollination by pollinating agent. Already you know what is mean by pollinating agent. Pollinating agent means it help for the pollination process. Whether may be a vent or whatever it may be. We will study one by the insects, anemophilics, bats, and also chirotrophilics and also malacophilics. So many things is there. Okay, we will see. Genetic is similar to the autogamy. Example, cooker beets. This type of flowers genetically similar because two flowers are same. So the genetical aspects also similar. Okay, because cooker petals. Genogamy. This is also very, very much. These two are mostly asked in the NEET type of questions. Genogamy, transfer of pollen grains from the anther to the stigma of different plant but the same species. Take an example, some mango. Okay, So here the one mango tree is present in near 10 meters. Another one is the transfer of what is that, pollen grain from the one tree to another tree. See, it's a different plant but same species. Okay, it is commonly called as cross pollination. It is also otherwise called as cross pollination. That's why they ask the genogamy is also called as, what is that, cross pollination. Otherwise the cross pollination also called as genogamy. It brings genetically different types of, because it's a cross pollination takes place similar to that of the, which one, sexual reproduction, isn't it? Already we asked, it is a sexual reproduction type. Like that, imagine, it's not exactly, okay. It brings genetically different types of pollen grains to the stigma, because answer to the stigma of different plant but same species. That's why the same species will produce different genetical type of, what is that, offspring. Okay, genetically different type of offspring will be produced. That is also a very, very important. See that this is called a self-pollination. Here the answer, already we saw that this diagram I have chosen there, but here see that this is cross pollination. Here the pollen grain is there. This is the one flower of the same branch. You can imagine as the same branch or same species. Okay, a transfer of pollen grain into the another flower of the stigma. This is a female part. Here the male part, isn't it? So this condition is called as, what is it? This process is called as cross pollination. Okay, so it may be by the vector is called as, whether it may be insect or bird or whatever it may be. Okay, we'll see one by. This is called as cross pollination. Here what happened? Here the genetically identical, what is that, offspring will produce. It will produce. What about here? The cross pollination, genetically different fruits are formation or flowers are produced. That means fruits. Okay, got it. What is the next? See, this is also three gametes present in the same flowers. See, autogamy, the same flower. Gaetinogamy, it's a one flower to the another flower, but the same branches. Okay, same plant. But this is considered a genogamy. This is a one plant. This is family A plant, like that you can consider. And second one is a B plant. The pollination takes place in two different plants but same species. See that here the anther pollen grain transfer to the another plant but same species. This is called as genogamy. This question already most of them they asked. This one, gaetinogamy, genogamy, and clistogamy is also same. So they were asked the questions. Okay. See. So this is the question I will discuss later. Okay. See that. What are the agents of pollination? What are the type of agents? They may be majorly divided into two types. One is called as abiotic factor. Another one is called as biotic factor. What are the abiotic factors? See, listen here. Wind and water as a abiotic factor because it's a non-living factors. And biotic factor, insects, bats, reptiles, and mammals. These are the, what is that? Biotic factors. Have been reported in a book. Okay. What is the next one? See the agents. See, abiotic factor, this one is called the wind and also water. And birds, you know all about. And also insects. This one is called as reptiles. And this one is called as mammals. These are the four has given us a, what is that, chart. Okay. Just to imagine these things. See, pollination. There is a big chart is here. Just to carefully watch it, then only it will be better for you. Already studied the things, isn't it? Self-pollination, cross-pollination. Cross-pollination otherwise called as genogamy. Two different. Okay. And same flower is called as autogamy. Same plant, but different flower is called as gaetinogamy. Okay. The cross-pollination also divided into two according to the pollinating agent. One is called as biotic factor, another abiotic factor. Biotic is nothing but the wind. Suppose if it is a pollination takes place by wind is called as anemophily. Anemophilic. And suppose if it is water, hydrophily. Hydro means water. Hydrogen, hydrophilic. Okay, water. Suppose take an example, biotic. So here given as a 5. Suppose if it is a the pollen grain transfer through the snails. Snail. Malacophily. Insect. Entomophilic, Birds, ornithophilic. Bat, chiropterophily, and other vertebrates is a zoophily. These are the 5 have been given in your book. Okay, this is very, very important. So many times they were asked. Sometimes it may be a the ant seed disposal also takes place with the presence of ant, by the ant, like that they may ask the questions. Suppose the seed disposal takes place by the ant, what is that meaning? Anybody else? Ant. Do you know, pa? Okay. See, listen here. Pollinating agent process, abiotic agents, anemophily, hydrophily. Biotic agent, endomophily, ornithophily, chiropterophily, malacophily, and myrmecophily. This is the correct answer. The ant, the seed disposal also takes place by the ant. That process is called as, what is that? Myrmecophily. Malacophilic, snail. Chiropterophilic is nothing but the bats. Ornithophilic, birds. Endomophilic, insect. Hydrophilic, water. Anemophilic, what is that? Wind. So these are the very, very important. See one by one. See, adaptation of the flower. Suppose the pollination takes by wind. What are the general characteristics of flowers? Okay, what are the characters? Suppose if the character present in it is this type only, they enter into the, what is that? Wind pollination. They can able to do the wind pollination. See, the pollen grains light and non-sticky, winged. Then it can be easily transferred from one place to another place. Once again, repeat for you. Wind pollination. What is that? Pollination takes place by air. The condition is called as anemophilic. Okay. Pollen grains. How the pollen grains nature? Light and non-sticky, winged. Anther, well exposed. Stigma, large and feathery. Flowers, one ovule arranges as the inflorescence. Example, corn and cob. These are the general characteristics of, what is that? Anemophilic flowers. Adaptation. That is very, very important. Adaptation of the flowers. Anemophilic flowers adaptation is, these are the characteristics. Okay. See the diagram. See, this is the anemophilic nature. Okay. It is also feathery in nature and also very less in nature, light in nature. It can be easily transferred through the, what is that? Feathers. Okay, just like a wing. It can be flow on the air. So this is the example. Okay. So go to the next one. Water pollination. The pollination takes place by water. The process is called as hydrophily. Pollination by abiotic agent like water. This type of pollination is very rare, about 30 genera, mostly monocot. How it will be, excuse me, how it will be? Maximum 30 genera, mostly in monocot. So you have to know very well about the hydrophilic of mostly how many percentage, 30 genera species mostly found in the monocot, remaining are dicot. Example, Wallisneria, Hydrilla, and Justira, and also sea grass. These are the example. You have to note it down, very, very important. In this category is very, very important. Hydrophilics, the water, how many genera in monocot? What are the examples? Or common examples of hydrophily, because it's both, all are, what is that? Hydrophytic plants. Wallisneria, Hydrilla, Justira. These are sea grasses. All are present in the water molecules. I mean, water only, isn't it? So that's why they are all are hydrophytes. All the plants are hydrophilic nature because mostly they are all are growing inside the water only, in water, like the metal. Okay. Pollen grains are protected from wetting by mucilaginous covering. Suppose these are all are hydrophilic nature, So what happen easily? What is that? Pollen grains are wet, possible, isn't it? It can be prevented by the presence of one of the specialized covering is called as mucilage covering. The mucilage covering, what happened? It's not. It is made up of fat. Hydrophilic. What is meant by hydrophilic? Hygrophobia. Hydrophobia. What is meant by hydrophobia? You know about the rabies, isn't it? Water hatting process. Like that image. The mucilage is made up of what is that? Keratin and lipid. Okay. So as a result, what happens? It not easily adhere on the water molecule. It's not easily attached with the pollen grains. Okay. It is a scattering in manner. That's why it is a sticky nature. Okay. Mucilaginous covering present on the pollen grains. That is very, very important. See, this is the Wallisneria is a female flower here. This one is called as a male flower or female flower. Female flower, there is stigma. See, this is the female flower. See the diagram, you know, this is the female flower. It can be it is magnified structure given here, isn't it? This is the female flower, the upper part. See here, the male flower is a small one. It's a microscopic one, isn't it? It can be easily reach the top of the stigma. When it floating on the surface of the water, it will be easily reached. How? With the presence of water and also reaches the female flower. This is a male flower. This is a female flower. Female flower particularly, which one you know? Stigma. This area is called a stigma. When it reaches, automatically the pollination will be possible. Okay, these are all present. Both the plants present in the where? Aquatic. That's why pollination by water. It's called as hydrophilic. Example, Wallisneria. Okay. Not only Wallisneria, so many plants is there. Okay. So the main features of wind and water pollinating plants produce pollen grains in large number. All the taken examples, any one of the plant, the number of pollen grain will be 100, 1000, 200, 2000, like that, millions times. But all the pollen grains are not reach the stigma. Which is the possible pollen grains reaches the stigma. It is also what is that? Good one. Okay. Otherwise called as it is possible. Which one is possible? It can be easily reach the stigma. Otherwise remaining on wasted one. Okay. Do not produce nectar. The type of plants, they will not produce nectar glands. Example, Wallisneria. Okay. And then male flower or pollen grains released on to the water. Surface carried out by the water, some eventually reach the stigma. Already told you, male flower or pollen grains released on the top of the water surface. Carried by water, some eventually reach the stigma. How it will be possible? The wind and water all help together, then only. Okay. Water is the mediator. The wind is the, what is that? It may be transport from the one place to another place. Likewise. Okay. Justira is another one. The female flower remaining submerged in the nature, but the pollen grains long ribbon-like structures. Suppose some of the plants, it may be grow above the water level. Okay. Some of the plant, it will not grow above the water level. It may be submerged, always shrink under the water. Okay. Such type of plants, example, Justira. But the pollen grains, how it will be? It's a long ribbon-like structure. It may be floating under the water. It may be easily floating inside the water one day. They release the water, released inside water, carried by water currents to reach the female flower. From this area, okay, the female flowers remain submerged in nature, but pollen grains long ribbon-like structure. When the pollen grain long ribbon-like structures, okay, inside the water, carried by water current to reach the female flower. It can be easily, what is that? Easily released inside. There is a small attraction between to each other. That is called as currents. They are told. Okay. What is meant by current? No need to confuse this area. Okay. Water currents to reach the female flowers. So that means both are submerged. Female flower is completely submerged, but male flower is ribbon-like structure. Okay. It can be easily floating on to the and reach the male flower. Example. They ask the questions, which pollen grains is a ribbon-like structure? Pollen grains is ribbon-like structure. You have to tell as the Justira. Otherwise called as which flower submerged in nature during water pollination. Like that they may ask the question. Okay, you have to analyze that things also. This is also another. See the male and female plant of Wallisneria. This one is called as male flower. See that male flower here. It reproduces pollen grains. This one is considered as a female. Female is the nearest one here. So this is the female flower. When it releases the pollen grains, reaches the top water level, and also it move on through the wind. Finally, it reaches the female flower, and the reproduction also possible. That means you know about the process, isn't it? Okay. See, the pollination takes place by, what is that? Insect is called as entomophilic. Okay, what are the general characteristics of this type of flowers? You know, the flowers should be very large, colorful, fragrant. Then only the attraction of insect very easily. Rich in nectar. Then only the what is that? Insect it come and what is that? Collect the nectars. Okay, and pollen grains are sticky, so the cross pollination is possible very easily. Stigma is also sticky. Stigma. So both the pollen grains are sticky. Stigma also sticky. How? You know, the pollen grain is sticky means it easily, what is that? Attached to the insect leg, and also it reaches the another flower. What happened to the sticky pollen grains also transfer to the stigma. Sticky, stigma. Both are sticky in nature. See, any doubt in this area?
No, sir.
Okay. Shall I pass on to next one? Yeah. See that entomophilic. Take an example. So this one is honeybee. Okay, it is collecting the nectar from the which one, you know, large flowers. Okay, nectar glands also present. Sticky in nature, both male and female. The ornithophilic. Just imagine ornithophilic is the pollination by birds. Ornithology, the science that deals with study of birds is called as ornithology. Okay. See, the pollination by birds is called as ornithology. See that bird is collecting the nectar. This is also a hummingbird, I think. This is the flowers. Its maximum comes under the condition Canaceae. Tamil we may call as Kalvalai. Okay. Canaceae families. Okay. Here having the nectars glands, it the birds collecting the nectar. That time what happened? The peak. Okay. It touches the which one, you know, male gametes. That is called as pollen grains, and also transfer to the another. When the birds is collecting the near to the flowers, what happened? The transfer of pollen grain from the one flower to another one. So this is the another way of pollination by birds. You must know birds. This is mostly asked in the question in the which one, you know, match the following. Okay, sometimes they may ask the questions. Or in the philic, the pollination takes by birds. Okay, go to the next one. This is also another type. Okay, see the nearest flower. Suppose the birds collecting the nectars from this area. Okay, this flowers, and next enter into the next one. What happened here? The pollen grain is there, and also transferred here. What is that pollination is called as? This pollination. Same flowers. What is that? What is that, Ba? You're collecting the
Autogamy.
autogamy. It is also a cross pollination. This is called as what is that? Same flower or different flower? This one.
Different flowers.
So you have to tell. This is also one of the cross pollination, but you have to tell which one you know.
Sir, is it gatenogamy, sir, then?
What is that?
Sir, gatenogamy.
Gatenogamy. That's why I'm asking.
Sir,
Okay.
Sir, but
Yeah. Go ahead.
sir,
What is
but
that?
the bird is flying in the same flower, sir.
Oh, flower, same flower, but what is that? It is not animation. Yeah. Okay. So it can be transferred from here to here. We can imagine. Okay, that's why I have chosen this. What is that? Slide. Okay, here the flower is there. Okay, collecting the nectar. Okay, but at the time the peak also. What I have? Adgar the which one, you know, pollen grain, and transfer to here. You know, just imagine only. Okay, here we go. Go to the next one. See, this is also another type. Okay, all are same, but this is nothing but the inflorescence. Inflorescence, single branches contain more number of flowers. Okay, so this is also another type. So what is the malacophilic? It's nothing but the pollination takes place by a what is that? Snail. This is very, very important. So many times they were asked. Okay, this is the malacophilic. Only with the help of the snails only. This is the flowers. Snails once move on to on it, what will happen now? The bottom of the body part, they may touch with the which are pollen grains and transfer easily to the same flower. Okay, and sometimes it may be pass on to the next one. What happened? This also possible cross pollination. This is called considered as self pollination, but same flower. Okay, but sometimes it may be a different pollination. Okay. This one is called as Chiropterophilix by bat. Okay, in our report, it is one of the mammals, isn't it? Okay, it is called as Chiropterophilix. Is nothing but the pollination takes place by bat. Only takes place in the night time. Okay, so daytime it's not possible because bats only, what is that? Their lives only in the dark time only. So that is the another. It can be touched that these flowers and collect the information, collect the food. That time it touches the noses or whatever it may be, mouth parts in the pollen grains and reaches the another flower. It can be transferred from here to here. Okay, so you must know. So bats, the pollination takes place by bats. It's called as Chiropterophilic. Okay, and then Myrmecophilic, the pollination by ant. The seed disposable by ant is called as Myrmecophilic. This is also a very, very, very important. So many times they were asked the question. The seed disposed by wind. What is that? Seed disposed by the ant. Like that they asked. Sometimes may ask the question, match the following. Certain reward of the excuse me, to pollinators. See how pollinators, what are the what is that? Beneficial, they will get it. See, nectars and edible pollen grains as a food. The pollinators receive from the flowers. Okay, that is called as rewards. Okay, nectars and edible. Nectars mean about honey. Okay, edible plants, edible pollen grains as a food. Okay, some of the animals they eat the pollen grains as a food. Provide safe places for laying eggs. Some of the animals means what I am telling you, some of the insects, they can easily lay the eggs where? Inside the flowers only. Take an example, mango. When you are consuming the mango, the seed inside, what happened? When you are consuming mango fruits, okay, inside what happened? The single seed is present in it, isn't it? That seed, once you open it, what happens? Inside there is a endosperm is there. That time small pedals also present. Pedals means about nothing but the, what is that? Small Tamil wand, isn't it? Present in it, inside. How it will be entered by inside? See. Okay. During the bud condition, what happened? The particular insect laying their egg inside the flowers. Okay, so after the pollination present in it inside. Okay, after the fruit formation also takes place. Okay, when you are consuming, when you are throwing it or open it, what happens inside? There is a small insects also present in it. Okay, doesn't matter. Provide safe place for laying eggs. Example, Amorphophilus. Note it down. This is one is very, very important. And some other pieces. There are species of moth and yucca. Is one of the interrelations between the yucca plant as well as moth plant cannot complete their life cycle without each other. Likewise, about malarial parasite, isn't it? Do you know malarial parasite? How it will be finished their life cycles? Anybody else?
So,
yeah.
So malaria parasite, is a Plasmodium vivax, sir.
Very good.
So,
how it will release their life cycle? There are two life cycles there. One is in our body, isn't it?
So inside our body and outside our body, sir.
Inside our body means a human being is a first, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
So what about outside the body?
So outside the body, sir, that the microgamy and macrogamy fuse and forms the zygote, sir. Zygote instead will give rise to oocyst, which gives rise to oocyte, which will in turn give rise to sporocytes, sir, which in turn enter the human body.
Yeah, that one. The last you told, very good. Last one you told, sporocyte. Okay, sporocyte, isn't it? The sporocyte is very, very important because without human being and also which one the mosquito itself. Okay, both are need for their finishing of life cycle. Both coast is very, very essential for their finishing of life cycle. Likewise, the moth and yucca plant cannot complete their life cycles without each other. Okay. The moth deposited its eggs in a locules of the ovary, and the flower in turn get pollinated by the moth. See that moth is also very, very essential, and the yucca flower is also very, very good. Many insects may consume pollens or nectar without bringing about pollination. Many insects, what happen, may consume pollens or nectar without bringing about pollination. Such floral visitors are referred as a pollen nectar robbers. All the animals, all the insects are not, what is that, bring about pollinations. Some of the insects may consume the pollen or nectars without bringing about the pollination. Such type of animals are called, what is that, pollen nectar robbers. Okay, like that they were told. Okay, see, go to the next one. So this is a yucca and moth and yucca. Okay, the pollination takes place without tooth. This is the flower, this is a moth. Okay, these two are very, very essential for their life cycles. Without the flowers, they will not live. I mean, moth. Okay, without moth, there is no pollination takes place in flower. So those are more, or what is that? Each one it's help each others, like that you can consider. Okay, see. Outer breeding device. What are the outer breeding device? Autogamy or self-pollination resulting in breeding, isn't it? Depression. Suppose the autogamy or self-pollination takes place more than 10 times. Imagine what I'm telling. Self-pollination takes place is in more than 10 times. What will be the F1 offspring result? It will be, the quality will be very good or bad or very what is that? Are you clear about the point, Pa? Listen, self-pollination, isn't it? Self-pollination means same flower. Autogamy is possible. That means the fission of gamete as well as the possible as well as the, which one, same plant or animals, like that. Suppose if it is takes place more than 10 times or 100 times, what will be the offspring quality? It will be good or bad?
So bad, sir.
That is the result. Good. Super. So that is the result. Inbreeding depressions. It mostly occurs in the animals also. For example, any one of the cow or buffalo, it may yield 10 calves. After the 10 calves, what will happen? The offspring of the 10th one, it will be very weak compared to the first one. Okay. So that is called as result inbreeding depressions. Okay. Suppose inbreeding depression means inbreeding is also possible. 2 or 3 times is enough. More than 3 or 10 means what happened in the offspring will be is not good. Okay. So that condition is called as result inbreeding depressions. Okay. Flowering plants have developed many devices to avoid self-pollination and to encourage cross-pollination. Such devices are called as outbreeding device. But outbreeding means nothing but many devices to avoid self-pollination. Which one, They encourage cross-pollination. Such devices are called as outbreeding device. Outbreeding means it may be cross between the other plants or the other animals. Many devices also what is that? Developed. Okay. That condition is called as outbreeding. See here, the pollen released and stigma recipitative is not synchronized. The first one. And spatial separation of anthers and stigma. These are the another point. What is my spatial separation? It may be separate. Okay. So what happened? Separate means this comes from the one, the anther comes from the one, and also stigma is another plant. So what happened? It may be separate manner. That is called a spatial. Okay. Anther and stigma. Or how it will be, the cross breeding is very, very good quality in nature. Anther and stigma are placed at different position. This is also another thing. Self incompatibility. This is also another point. These are all points only. Just note it. No need that one. And production of unisexual flowers. These are all our outbreeding devices. Okay. See example, gaster. Maize prevents autogamy. Papaya prevent autogamy and geitonogamy, because papaya plant is also unisexual or bisexual flowers. This is nothing but the unisexual or bisexual. This is unisexual flower because male flower present in male and female flowers separate in manner. Okay, so this is the so here what have prevention of autogamy and geitonogamy. Geitonogamy is not possible, but castor and maize prevent autogamy. Okay, castor and maize prevent autogamy. These are on outbreeding devices. But the next one, pollen pistil interaction. This is very important. This is very important. This is when we are going to study the double fertilization, otherwise called as fission of gametes. So pollen pistil, that means male gametes as well as the female. But okay, gametes are united. That event is called as pollen pistil interaction. How it will be? All the events from the pollen deposition on the stigma and the pollen tubes enter the ovule or together refer as a pollen pistil interaction. This is nothing but what is that? Before the zygote formation takes place, isn't it? See here, pollen deposition on the stigma. Once the deposition of stigma, pollen grain on the stigma, what happened? Automatically the pollen tube formation takes place. After the formation of pollen tubes, it enter into the ovule or together refer as the pollen pistil. After the pollen tube formation, it entered the ovule. These two reaction is collectively called as pollen pistil interactions. See what happened? The pistil has the ability to recognize the pollen whether it is right type. That is called as compatibility. Okay, so compatibility. Suppose if it is the wrong one, it is called as incompatibility. Mango, they can easily fertilize the banana papa. Possibility is the mango pollen grain. It reaches the yeah, that is called as incompatibility, isn't it? Okay, right choice means what is that meaning? Mango plant only they can mango pollen grains only fertilize the or fuse with the which one pistil of another mango plant, isn't it? But it is not possible with the in crass manner. Okay, so this is called as incompatibility. If it is a compatibility, the pistil accept the pollen grain. So this is very important. Suppose the same flowers, okay, the mango or banana or whatever it may be, the same flower, the same pistil and pollen grain, they can interchange itself. Okay, this is compatibility. It can be easily acceptable. Okay, other pollen grain is not easily acceptable by pistil. This is very important. Okay, the ability of the pistils to recognize the pollen by continuous dialogue mediated by chemical like these are the very important things. Some of the what is that mediated components. One is called as boron, another one is called as inositol and sucrose level. These are the three components very essential for the pollen pistil interaction. Particularly, there is a mediated components. Okay, this is also a very important. See that first. See, the pollen grains germinates on the stigma. Already you know about when you are going to study the double fertilization. Once reaches the pollen grain on the stigma, it absorbs the what is that? Sugar molecules, water molecule, inositol, other components also present in it. As a result, what happened? The pollen grain inside two layer is the outer layer is called as what is that? Exine, and inner layer is called as intine. The intine, what happened? Automatically to produce a pollen tube. That things as given here. Germination on the stigma to produce a pollen tube through one of the germ spore, isn't it? Then what happened? The content of the pollen grains move into the pollen tube. The content of the pollen. What is the meaning of content? One tube nucleus, one generative nucleus, isn't it? They can move through the tube only. It will not move any other places. They can move towards the pollen tube growth. Okay. So the pollen tubes grow through the tissues of the stigma and style reaches the ovary. Once it reaches the ovary, what happened? The pollen tube burst. Then the male gamete, female gamete fission together takes place. See that in some plant pollen grains are said a two-celled condition, a vegetative cell and a generative cell. I already told you. In such a plant, the generative cell divide and form the two male gametes. Which cell produce two male gametes? Generative cells. Generative cells divide and form the two male gametes during the growth of the pollen tubes in the stigma. Vegetative is not only, it will not undergo the cell division process. Okay, it only, what is that? It guide the, what's then the generative nucleus. This is very, very important. So note it down that thing. See here, the diagram, pollen pistil interaction. This is constantia, this is stigma. So otherwise called as female gametophyte, this one. Okay. This one is called as male gametes. This all are male. This is otherwise called as pollen grains. Which one is the, this is considered a pollen grains, this is considered a pollen tube. Okay, this is a pollen tube formed from the inner wall of the, which one pollen grains. See the pollen tubes. Here what happened, there is a generative nucleus as well as the, which one vegetative nucleus also present. In generative nucleus divided into, what is a male gamete. The male get fused with the, which one egg cell present here. Okay, so the egg cell is here. And two, what is that? Synergetic cell also. The synergetic cell is also present here. This one is converted to, what is one? Endosperm or something else. Okay, see that? This is the structure. See here, this is the correct way. This is a pollen grains, binucleated stage. This one is called as tube nucleus. Tube nucleus is large in size. You note it down. This is very, very important. This question also already asked. Tube nucleus, which one? Large one. Generative nucleus, small one. The generative nucleus divided into, see that sperm cell, otherwise called as, what is that? Male gamete. See, this is the, which one? Tube nucleus. The tube nucleus near the cell wall. These are the questions. Mostly they ask the questions. So they can move towards the ovary. Okay. This is the another things. So we will finish it at this one only. In plant which is said pollen into the three-celled condition. That means pollen contain two generative cell, one vegetative cells. Okay. So carry the two male gametes from the beginnings. Pollen tube after reaching the ovary, enter the ovule through the microphyll. The microphyll is nothing but the small opening, isn't it? Where the integument is absent, that place there is a small opening is there. That opening is called as microphyll. Okay. And then enter one of the synergetic through the filiform apparatus. Filiform apparatus, what is the meaning? The synergetic cells near, there is a finger-like projection. Below there is a statement is there, isn't it? Filiform. The filiform apparatus present at the microphylla part of the synergetic guides the entry of the pollen tubes. All three even from pollen deposition and the stigma until the pollen pistil interaction. So these are the three stages. Once what happened, tube formation takes place, reaches the microphyll through which one filiform apparatus. Filiform apparatus present where it near the which one synergetic. Pollen pistil interaction is the dynamic process involving pollen recognizing the followed by promotion or inhibition of the pollens. Which one is the favorable one? It can be easily accepted. Others are not acceptable. Entry of the this one. See that this is the finger-like projection. Okay, so this one. These are all synergetic cells. Synergetic cell near there is a finger-like projection. Here is the, this is called as filiform apparatus. This way to, what is the pollen tube enter into the to reach the egg cells. So okay, this is called as, what is that? Sporozoite. We will see there how it will be entered. The pollen tube entered three ways only. See that. See. Sorry. See that. See, this is called a sporogamy. Why it enter into only sporophylls, microphyls, microphyll. This is the space is called as microphyls. Okay, when you are going to study the ovule, you can easily, already we saw it. Again, I will tell you. Here the integument is completely absent. Okay, some lack of integument. So this place is called as microphyll. This is the entry point of the which pollen type. Suppose if the entry takes place in this way, that condition is called as sporogamy because microphyll. Salosogamy. See that this portion is called as saloso. The entry of pollen type inside in this way, but finally it reaches the which one microphyll only. Mesogamy means middle. Okay, these are all are considered the is known as the entry of the pollen tubes. Okay, according to their entry of the pollen tubes. Okay. So this is the level today. We saw it. Tomorrow we will see the artificial fertilization. What are the things present in it? Okay. Before that, what we discussed? What is my pollination? What are the type of pollination? How they are classified? Okay. And what are the pollinating agent is there? Abiotic factor, biotic factor. Abiotic factor, water and wind. And biotic factor, what are the things already in our about? Okay, insects and all how it will be, and what are the things? What are the chiropterophilics and malacophilics and also myrmecophilics and anemophilic? That things is also already we discussed. And finally, what happened? What we discussed. The crystal. What is that? Pollen grain interactions. Okay, we'll see the remaining on the next class. If you have any doubt, will you please ask me now? And one more is that I will give you the second test. Already I given, but that things is not valid. So I will give you a new one. Okay, all the students must attend. Don't need to hesitate. Suppose the question is out of the syllabus. Suppose if you feel like that, it is not out of syllabus because already studied that things also. No need to worry. You have to concentrate. Okay, whatever it may be, you have no need to hesitate. You attend confidently. Okay. So all of my dear students, I will give you new one. No need to worry. Practice it. No need to hesitate. Okay. Known one. Okay. Suppose if you don't know the question and you try it yourself. Try yourself. That is also very, very important. You got it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. No need to worry. No need to worry. You have to practice it and you go through the NCERT book. I will tell you one thing is maximum 20 times you have to read the book. You have to read the book 20 times. I'm telling you, 2 years you are having, you have to read the 20 times, but you have to attend the 100 question papers. Each and every lesson you have to take at least 5 to 6 question paper, whether it may be 25 question or 45 question. Suppose if it is a full questions, 90 questions, you attend. Then only it will practice. It will not come only now what we are doing only teaching only, not enter into the coaching. Okay, listen here. Teaching is nothing but we are studying the lesson only. Coaching means we are practicing the same question, same lesson. We are practicing different angles. That is coaching. Okay, got it, my dear students? Okay. Shall we finish it? Shall we finish it? No need to hesitate. You practice it. Okay. Good luck. Okay. Okay. But thank you for the participation. Okay. Bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you.
sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.